The power of dopamine, the ancient chemistry of motivation. In the daily hustle of hospitality, where time is short, standards are high, and service never stops, motivation becomes more than a nice to have. It's the fuel that keeps the whole operation moving. While managers often rely on external incentives like bonuses or verbal praise, the deepest and most reliable form of motivation comes from within, and at the center of that internal motivation is dopamine. Tens of thousands of years ago, small groups of hunter-gatherers roamed the plains of Africa. Life was unpredictable. Sometimes food was plentiful, other times it was scarce. In this environment, survival depended not only on strength, but also on motivation. One morning, a young hunter named Caro crouched in the tall grass. Ahead, he spotted the fresh tracks of a deer. He wasn't hungry, but something inside his brain told him this was an effort worth making for the potential reward it promised. As Caro followed the tracks, something happened. A tiny burst of a chemical, dopamine, fired in anticipation. Dopamine wasn't simply about pleasure, it was about possibility. It gave him energy, sharpening his focus and pushing him forward. The deer was not yet caught, but the promise of reward filled him with determination. He ran, stumbled, picked himself back up and kept going. Every time he got closer, each broken branch, each fresh hoofprint, his brain rewarded him with another burst of dopamine. But that first hunt ended in failure. The deer escaped. Here is where dopamine revealed its true power. Instead of giving up after failure, Caro's brain didn't let him quit. That night, even with disappointment weighing on him, the memory of those dopamine bursts lingered. They told him, "Try again tomorrow. The reward you seek is within your grasp." So the next morning, though his muscles were sore, Caro returned to the trail. Again, every clue, the bent grass, the faint track, released just enough dopamine to push him forward. His anticipation was as important as the meal itself. Finally, with the help of his tribe, that day Caro threw his spear and brought down the deer. The camp gathered around the fire, while they smoked the meat to save it for tougher times. As they celebrated, another wave of dopamine surged through their brains, connecting effort, persistence, anticipation, and reward. Without dopamine, Caro might have walked away after failure. With it, he tried again, and his tribe's survival, and ultimately humanity's future, depended on that persistence. In humans and other animals, dopamine doesn't just respond to rewards, it spikes when the brain predicts something rewarding might happen. This is called reward prediction error. Early humans who felt motivated by signs of food or success were more likely to survive. Over generations, those with strong dopamine-driven motivation had better survival and reproductive success. They shared food, attracted mates, and raised children, passing on the brain wiring which favored persistence and effort. This is one of the most important features of dopamine to understand. It isn't about reaching a goal or achieving success. It's about knowing that you have made even just a small step towards that goal. It's the way social media have been engineered to become addictive. You'll do anything for one more like or one more view, even though an ultimate goal of total likes or views isn't even set. This ancient chemical still plays a crucial role in modern work, especially in fast-moving, high-pressure environments like restaurants. It's what gives a waiter the drive to upsell a cocktail or a dessert, a chef the persistence to perfect a new dish, and a receptionist the satisfaction of getting their resets a little earlier every service. Once again, remember, what makes dopamine especially powerful is that it doesn't only reward success, it kicks in when we simply anticipate it, or even when we make the tiniest bit of progress toward a goal. That's why breaking down tasks into achievable steps can be such a game changer in motivating staff. Goal setting as a dopamine trigger. When structured well, goals create a clear path to progress, and progress is what the brain is wired to seek. The key is to make goals feel achievable, meaningful, and time-sensitive, so that staff can feel that spark of momentum throughout a shift. In restaurants, the most effective goals are specific, measurable, and short-term. Vague encouragement like "do your best" rarely creates traction. Instead, consider goals like upsell the dessert menu to at least 8 tables tonight, or turn all tables within 10 minutes of their allocated time. These aren't just tasks, they're mini challenges that the brain can latch onto and feel rewarded for completing, in small but meaningful incremental steps. For the kitchen team, goals might involve consistency and speed, getting your morning prep ready ahead of time, plating each main within 10 minutes of the order, or increasing week on week the compliance on food hygiene records by a small percentage. These goals provide focus and rhythm, fueling pride in performance and building a stronger kitchen culture. One important thing to remember is that goals should stretch staff just beyond their comfort zone, but not so far that they become overwhelming. If a waiter normally sells 1 or 2 wine pairings a night, asking for 5 creates a sense of positive challenge. Asking for 10 will only set them up for failure. Similarly, asking a setup team to finish prep just 10 minutes faster but still maintain quality adds focus and purpose without pushing people toward burnout. Sustaining motivation through small wins. Big goals can be inspiring, but they're also intimidating. The trick is to break them down. A new waiter learning the menu might start by focusing just on starters on week 1, mains on week 2, cheese and desserts on week 3. Each week brings a manageable win that triggers dopamine and keeps them engaged and motivated throughout the whole process. While asking them to memorize the whole menu within the first 3 weeks doesn't allow for these small incremental victories to be tangible. These moments of progress are amplified even more when they're recognized. A quick word of praise during service. "Nice upsell on that wine pairing, Julie," can make all the difference. Even informal displays like a chalkboard showing who sold the most specials or who got the most 5-star reviews turn effort into visible achievement. And when you back that up with small perks, a better section, a free drink, or first pick of next week's shifts, you're reinforcing the cycle. The result is a team that feels seen, valued, and driven. Creating a culture of goal setting. To make all of this sustainable, goal setting needs to be part of the culture, not just something you talk about at performance reviews. The best place to start is the pre-shift briefing. Use that time not just to go over the plan for service, but to inject purpose. Offer a simple shift-specific target. Recognize yesterday's successes and encourage the team to come up with their own collective goal. Something like, "Let's earn 10 5-star reviews this week." Or, "Let's keep ticket times under 10 minutes during lunch." Healthy competition can also play a role, especially when it's light-hearted and fair. A friendly challenge to see who can sell the most specials, or a whiteboard tracking top performers in different areas, can help motivate through what's known as vicarious reinforcement. Just seeing others succeed and be celebrated can boost dopamine in the observer and inspire more effort across the board. Motivation, the natural way. Dopamine isn't a gimmick. It's how humans are wired. And in an industry that runs on adrenaline, timing, and teamwork, understanding the natural flow of motivation is one of the most powerful tools a leader can have. When you help your staff set meaningful, specific goals, celebrate their progress, and reinforce effort with consistency and care, You create an environment where motivation becomes self-sustaining. It's not just about standards, knowledge, numbers, or upsells. It's about giving your team the gift of momentum, where every small step forward feels worth it. That's how you build staff who are not only productive, but proud and passionate.